When it comes to building a house in Minecraft, there's a wide variety of options. Things ranging from rustic houses to suburban ones, and even modern homes. But of all the Minecraft bases out there, my favorites are the underground ones. Hey everyone, my name is Bright Builder, and today I'm going to be explaining the steps to make your very own secret Minecraft underground base. Let's get right into it. The first part of this process is to determine what kind of secret base or bunker you want to build. Now, this seems like a pretty basic question because, of course, you want a concealed underground one. I'm not really talking about that, though. I'm talking about the theme. Now, as you can see here, we sort of have the entrance or foyer room to kind of a fancy little underground bunker. It sort of mixes a modern vibe and a mid-Victorian vibe, almost, with its quartz pillars and glazed terracotta block palette. Now, you can choose whatever block palette you'd like, but for this particular build, I think I'm going to be using sort of a more modern sort of a block palette for this. Of course, you can go with anything. You can choose more rustic blocks, things like stone, really embrace that underground feel. You can add a bit of planks to it, logs, whatever you feel would be good. However, in this case, because I am going to be building more of a modern/futuristic design, I'm going with some more clean, refined things of Minecraft's very wide, expansive block options, and I'm going to be using these things. So if you do want to follow along in the style that I'll be using for this video, feel free to check out what I've got right here and mimic this design. Alright, so I've just started by digging a few blocks down and punching out a pretty wide and long amount of space in this general area. So as you can see, I didn't clear out an entire whole cave system, but I just gave us a decent amount of space to construct our first room. Now this will sort of be the foyer, the basic sitting room that we enter as soon as we drop down into our hidden base. I'm thinking spruce for the flooring. Maybe I could add a bit of a carpet in there, maybe. Pretty happy with this. Now I'm putting some quartz for the walls. That actually turned out quite well. I think I'm going to sort of do like a wraparound pattern with the lime terracotta going around. And I'm thinking of sort of having staircases that go down into the rest of the sort of underground bunker. That should be pretty good. Okay, so now I sort of have two gateways branching off of the main foyer of the base. So I suppose I'll put useful things going through this way and this way. In that way, upon entering, you can just go through and do whatever you want to. Though I should probably add a ceiling. Much better. So now I'm going to start the first sort of room branching off of the first area here. Just got to clear out a decent amount of space to give us some area to build it. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do. Of course, there are a lot of things that any underground base needs, and I think I might sort of make this like the living area. I'll put a bed. Yeah, this will be sort of the living room slash bedroom, maybe even slash kitchen. I don't know, I'll see. So as you can see, I've sort of gone around with a very rustic design and sort of a old-timey feel to it with our color scheme here, rather than more of a modern tone of the entry room. This one sort of has a bit of a old-timey feel with this sort of wallpaper design and flooring. I'm going to continue to expand the room area, and then we'll work on furnishing it. So I've just finished building the basic area that our living quarters will be in, and now I think I'm going to try to, put some decoration into it, because at the moment it's looking quite a bit bare. So I'm going to sort of put a nice couch-like thing in here, a nice sofa to sit on, and maybe we'll put in sort of a TV here. What I'm doing is I'm using a mixture of black concrete and black stone slabs to create sort of a wall-mounted TV vibe, along with a nice couch so we can sit here watching it, though in real life I would advise that you don't watch TV sitting so close to the screen. Now it is rather dark in here, so I think I might get a bit of lighting. Shroom lights will make a nice addition. If we just pop them in the ceiling, like so, put them at a few different intervals, we might be able to polish this up a bit later, but for now, this should do. So, now that we're actually able to see in here, I think I'm going to add a bit of a lamp. Now, this is a rather bizarre block palette, I'm aware, but using a dragon egg can actually be surprisingly effective in the construction of a lamp. Now, I probably don't want to build it this close to here. Maybe right next to the couch would be a better location. So if we pop the dragon egg there, a nice quartz pillar to make a lampshade, and a heavy weighted iron pressure plate on top, it really makes for a very nice lamp. And actually, I think I might move this one to the right. Perfect. Alright, so on the other side of the room, I've gone ahead and added a nice painting. A painting like this can be implemented by putting it so that you've got a block here and a block here. If you don't do that, then you might end up with a painting of a size that you don't want, which isn't great because, you know, obviously with various different amounts of space, the painting doesn't really know which one to pick, so it just does the largest size. So what you've got to do is you have to put the blocks in place before you put it down, and that way you get the perfect painting for what you need to do. Now over here you might be wondering why I have this giant gaping hole in the wall, and this is actually to add in a nice bookshelf. Now it might seem a bit weird to just pop them in, especially because the oak doesn't really contrast nicely with the dark oak of the wall. However, if we add in some granite stairs, we can actually sort of turn this into a nice little bookshelf type thing. So if we go ahead, put that in, finish it off with some slabs, then as you can see, we've managed to create out of, you know, some blocks that wouldn't really be thought of as bookshelf material into something that actually looks quite nice as a bookshelf. And speaking of stairs, I've just got an idea. So I've gone ahead and given the shroom lights at the ceiling a bit more detail by adding a nice layer of crimson stairs around the edge. I also spaced them out a bit differently before they had been a bit more compact. So now it's time to punch out even more stone blocks. Alright, so I've just gone ahead and added the basic walls and flooring area of sort of a kitchen that stems off of the main living area. Now this will sort of be a bit of an addition to this, as it won't really have a wall that divides it, but rather more of a partition. So sort of like a smooth transition between room to room without it feeling too jarring as it does now. So I've added this room partition using iron blocks and iron trapdoors, and I think that it does a good job of dividing the living room from the kitchen. You'll notice that whatever I decide to put in here will be easily accessible from here, as I've added sort of a pathway through, and everything will be visible from either side. Now, it's sort of like a half-wall, half-air space, as it uses partial blocks like trapdoors and a mix of full blocks, the iron blocks here. As for furnishing our kitchen here, I thought that dark prismarine would make a nice block for the table. As you can see, I've gone and just plopped it in the center of the kitchen, and it's not very big at all because we don't have much space. However, it is large enough to put food on. I think I'll put a cake there, and I'm going to use an interesting trick. Now, as you can see, these are just item frames, nothing special there. We can put things in them, rotate them around, and that's about all. But if we put a birch pressure plate on the same blocks as them, then it creates sort of a plate effect, so they're no longer on, item frames like they had appeared to be initially, but rather just sitting on plates on top of the table. Now, I really prefer this to just item frames, as it gives it a lot more of a realistic feel and just generally looks better in your home. However, if you do stand on them, then the pressure plate goes down and stays down, and the item frame, which is still in the block that the item is on, is visible through. And for the ceiling, just sort of a tiled pattern of various prismarine blocks to match our table. As for the bedroom, I think it is going to be its own separate room, which goes and has an entrance through this way. So give me a minute to clear out this space. Alright, so I've just finished digging out the bedroom area. I have some work to do. That is, if the stupid traveling trader and his llamas don't bother me. And yes, that was a Knockback 1000 sword. The command for it is in the description of the video. Anyways, I have just about completed the bedroom, and here it is. It's a little bit drab, but I like that sort of minimalist design. You can see I've added another nice bookshelf because, honestly, you can really never have enough of these things in Minecraft. Like, the bookshelf is just such a nice block in general with the bright colors. It really adds a decent amount of depth to a room. However, you can see that, contrasting with the one I did in the other room here, the one I've built just now has really a lot more of a modern design rather than rustic with the other one. This one uses completely smooth quartz stairs and slabs, which gives it much more of a modern feel, like I said. And next to it we have this bed, which comes equipped with a bedside cabinet. I had to get a little bit creative here, and I ended up actually using the beehive block, a block which has a decent amount of functionality, but doesn't make a lot of sense in the context of building. However, in this case, I thought it would make a nice bedside table, so I did that along with a nice little handle made out of a birch trapdoor inside of an item frame. On top, I added a couple of sea pickles, because why not? And next to it, of course, we have a bed. Now, this one seems like a bit of a boring one, as, you know, the normal bed in Minecraft is considerably smaller, and something of this size won't really have any functionality. But that's where you're wrong. You see, if we come around to this side, flip open this trap door, then there's actually an actual Minecraft bed submerged underneath the large blocky one. If we click it, this bed is obstructed. Tell you what, let's talk about this lamp instead. Now, upon closer inspection, you'll notice that this lamp isn't actually something that you can build only using the blocks from the Minecraft Creative Inventory. In fact, its lampshade is actually something that you can only acquire through commands. Now, upon closer inspection, you'll realize that it's not actually a lampshade, but rather just a player head designed to look like one. Now, the base is made out of end rods, something completely normal, but the lampshade can only be gotten through a really complex command. Now, it's pretty difficult to explain, so I'm just going to show you what it is. Now, I've got it copied from a website I found, and as you can see there, it is a very long command, so when I press the button, I receive an extra lampshade top. Now, you can find various decorational player skulls like this on various websites. The one I used is minecraftheads.com. It has various different things, such as like coffee mugs and stuff like that, that can be designed to look like things that you can use in your Minecraft builds. I think that just about wraps up this side of the bunker. So for the other side of our underground base, I'm thinking this is going to be more of a lounge area, so not as much of a calm, peaceful living space and bedroom, but more of like sort of like a party room, a games room. I'll have a swimming pool, maybe a billiards table. This should be a lot of fun. Well, this is a good start. A lot of punching in this game. Alright, so I've finished up the basic design of the second room of the build here. Basically, I've got sort of a vivid feel to it with the nice colors of the pool matching with the wall and the nice blues and pale colors, along with the very, similarly toned whites and light blues of the ceiling with those sea lanterns and quartz stairs. Now, of course, you could use smooth quartz stairs as they don't have like a rigid grid texture, but I feel that like giving it a bit more depth is definitely a good thing, especially in a build that's a bit more simple as this one. Water is always a pain in this game. Perfect. Yeah, now we've got our billiards table and our nice swimming pool here. So that just about wraps up this room, but there's one more thing I think it needs. Here we go. Perfect. Now we've got a nice group of guests to hang out here. This llama seems to be enjoying himself. So for our final room of the build, I'm thinking that this is going to be the one and only functional place here. That's right, I'm finally going to build something that does something in Minecraft. So before we've had, just places where you can sit around, chill, but, that really isn't particularly important when you're not just building in Minecraft. I mean, does anyone really just sitting around and just staring at black concrete? Well, I mean, I don't, but, you do you. Anyways, basically, I was thinking the last place would just sort of be like a storage/workshop area, if that makes sense. So let's get started. I've done the archway on this one a bit similarly to the one right at the entrance. I think I might sort of have stairs going downwards from here. Oh, this is starting to look really cool. I really like the archway vibe. It's nice. It, like I said, it's kind of like, it's sort of supposed to be modern, but at the last minute I just sort of went ahead and went for more of like this, almost like ancient Greek sort of architectural design, and I'm actually really happy with it. Now all I have to do is add in the actual storage space. And there you have it. I've added in sort of the, what was it, green concrete powder to sort of give it a bit more color, because as it was looking kind of bland with all the quartz and birch wood. You can see that there's sea lights behind the different columns, which I thought was a very discreet way of adding a bit of lighting to the build, because it wouldn't look very good to just pop it directly in the ceiling. I wanted to sort of keep that like a flat surface. Obviously, you would probably label your chests unless you have a really, really good memory. I do not. But, you know, I don't know what people keep in their chests, so I just decided to keep them blank for now. Anyways, though, I should probably think about adding an actual way to get in, because as it is, it's just sort of a open hole that you can very easily fall down. This isn't very hidden, you know? Alright, I'm gonna do that. Alright, I've finally figured something out. So basically what I've done here is a path block detection system which hooks up to a piston which drops us into the base. This way it's actually hidden. You can't see any visible entrance without knowing exactly where to activate this. Now watch this very closely. So it was kind of hard to tell what just happened there because it was all very quick. But basically what I did was this. So by right-clicking this particular block here, I was turning it from a full grass block into a partial path block. And what that meant was this redstone torch was no longer sending a signal through the block into this redstone dust. So you can see, because it is now a full dirt block, the signal is being sent, but as soon as I turned it into a path block, it no longer was. The signal then travels through here and into the piston, which is exactly what pushed this block back in place to turn the dirt block into a full one. Now, also, when I do activate that, it sends another completely different signal from this observer and into the piston, which in turn opens up the hidden entrance into the base. So let's go inside, shall we? Now on the right, if we head through, we've got very relaxing, you know, calm little sitting room. We've got a nice bookshelf with painting to just sort of stare at for hours on end. We've also got some nice potted fungi. We've got a, you know, very exotic and, by the looks of it, expensive lamp. We've got a very large big screen TV with a nice couch to just sit on and stare at it without turning it on. We've got a kitchen with a cake that I really, really want to eat right now. And, of course, we have a bedroom, which is pretty boring. Bit of a cool, interesting, modern-ish bookshelf here. Some pickles on a bedside table and a bed. Pretty self-explanatory. It's a bedroom. Across the hallway, we've got a swimming pool and a pool table, which was created by using a mix of signage, trapdoors, string, and I believe carpet to create sort of a creative pool table design. We've got some interesting lighting, you know, a decent amount of detail in there, and of course we have our swimming pool. This is fun. And, of course, if we go back the main corridor, we've got our very large, spacious storage area where we can fill all of our chests with useless garbage as much as we want. So, there you have it, everyone. Underground secret bunker, very hidden activation device in Minecraft. If you'd like to see any more videos like this, please comment down below about any particular things you'd like to see on the channel. I'm always open to ideas for new content, and your voice is appreciated. If you enjoyed, feel free to like. I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. It would really help me out a lot. And I think that's about all. So thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you all next time. If only I had a way of getting out. I didn't really plan ahead that far. Guess I'm stuck here then. Maybe I'll go to the kitchen. Must not eat cake. Must not eat cake. Must not eat cake. Cake is amazing.